Good afternoon. First of all, I want to say after several months that the bargaining committees have been working with FCA and me for the last, and my team for the last several weeks, I believe, we can announce today that the UAW FCA has reached a tentative agreement. I want to first Thank you. So I also want to thank UAW Vice President Jimmy Suttles, Cindy Estrada, and Norwood Jewell for working together to determine and select FCA as their targeted company. We did that. That was a collective decision, not just mine alone. I want to also thank the bargaining team for their hard work, their dedication, honesty through this process. They have really served their membership very well. I want to also say I believe that we could have gotten an agreement with the other companies, but the bargaining teams everywhere are prepared and engaged right now in their discussions. FCA, I can tell you under Sergio's leadership, is a different company today than it was some years ago. Our relationship is very unique. We have one of those relationships that we debate often about philosophy, the economy, engineering process, and multiple things, which is very unusual. And the one thing that we have found with FCA today that is different than yesterday is the UAW can disagree strongly and the FCA can disagree just as strong with us and still get up the next day and continue discussions as that was yesterday. Now what are we going to do today? Our process now is that the UAW-IEB will review the tentative agreement and then vote. The councils will then be presented the TA, they will vote, and then ultimately the membership will vote. Today we won't be talking about the TA details until we have met with our leadership. I can say I believe the TA is balanced, still keeps us in a competitive place. And the UAW set 3 goals when we started this process, and we will continue this process in the next 2 set of negotiations. One, we wanted to start giving a path to our membership. We wanted to reward the UAW members for their sacrifices that they had made over the past several years. And finally, we wanted to find a way to deal with escalating cost of health care. We believe that we have met those goals, but ultimately, our membership will make the final decision. These people behind me, both sides, have done a tremendous job. And they have always thought about the people they're representing, regardless of it's the company side or the union side. Because our goal is that we will continue to make vehicles, gain market share, and make the best damn vehicles in the world in all of our companies we represent, Sergio. And still reward our members with both a base and an upside. So that's all I have to say, and I wanted to congratulate both the company and the UAW folks behind me and in the audience. Thank you.
I have no prepared remarks, so I'm just going to wing it. But a couple of comments. The first one is that you know you've been doing this for too long when you go to the bathroom and you can't find towels to dry your hands. And I just did that before I came down, and I realized that the level of abuse that this building has been put through over the last few weeks is redefined usage by most traditional standards. And so I'm glad that this thing has come to an end. It has been an interesting travel. A couple of comments. I've been doing deals for a large part of my life, and one of the things that happens in most of these transactions is that you end up, and whether it's a labor contract or you're trying to do something else in business, you end up closing the thing and you say, you know, this has been a win-win relationship, which I don't understand what the hell that means anymore. So I try and stay away from stereotypes in terms of stereotyping the process and the transaction itself. What does stay and what does make a difference at the end of the day is whether you'll be willing to do another transaction with those people that you have spent a large portion of your time with. And I can tell you that having gone through this incredibly elaborate process over the last few weeks, I can only commend Dennis and Norwood and his team for having put together an incredibly professional engagement with FCA that has allowed us to bring this to a conclusion. So the question is, do you respect UAW today more than you did before you started? And usually the answer is no, and in this particular case, the answer is yes. And I've grown a phenomenal amount of respect for Norwood, whom I did not know until this process, and for Dennis for having managed some rather intricate set of details in bringing us to this point. My final comment has to do with the substance of the agreement, which Dennis and I have agreed we will not disclose. But there were some broad concepts that underpinned the negotiations, one of which had to do with the inequitable nature of this Tier 1, Tier 2 arrangement that we've had in our system now since 2007. And so I think that the team has crafted what I consider to be a very carefully thought through process whereby that issue will go away. And it will go away over time, but in exchange for which I think that people who are now part of FCA and who join our organization will have both an opportunity to engage in a trajectory or career development, but they will actually enjoy the benefit of having achieved some significant milestones in terms of the achievement of particular objectives in world-class manufacturing quality, and even their own career progression in terms of actually moving up the chain of leadership. The other integral part of all this is that we have tackled, and I wholeheartedly share Dennis's view about this, on which he's been public, and which I echo here, is that we need to find the cost-effective way of managing healthcare costs. And so his suggestion to effectively look at the co-op arrangement, to rely on what we have learned through the VIBA structure, and really benefit a much larger population in terms of purchasing capability and administration of the process is something which is very close to us. I think it's embedded in spirit in the agreement, and I sincerely hope that it gets implemented. The economics of the deal are almost irrelevant, and they're important. They're important to our financial health, but they're almost irrelevant in the sense that this deals now with one side of the challenge that we face in the automotive industry. It deals with creating a workable environment for our workforce to come and join this industry and effectively have an intelligent and a rewarding career as they progress through the ranks. The other side of this, which is something that I've been public on, which has to do with the capital usage of this business, is something which remains unsolved. And it makes the labor side sort of pale in comparison, given the magnitude of the potential synergies and the benefits that we would be deriving from an intelligent approach to that issue. So I'm delighted that we could bring this to a satisfactory conclusion. I'm delighted that the UAW and us were able to partner through this process, and I can now, as an organization, focus on the remainder of my objective, which has now become the first priority, and it will be as soon as ratification is achieved. So I want to thank Dennis and Norwood for what they've done, for having allowed us to get here this far, and I think I look forward to the next 4 years of great production. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, kids.
Thank my friend, Dennis Williams, for just an awesome leadership team that he brought in here. Can't say enough about how well we worked together and what the experience was like. And you know, Sergio made some comments, and Dennis did too, relative to relationships. Done a lot of this in the course of my life, and I don't think there's ever been more integrity in a system than there was in this negotiations. I really mean that. You know, that we were able to have open, honest dialogue and really go after some issues that were tough, right? You know, negotiations isn't exactly a fun process, but it is what it is, and we made the best of it, you know, and I mean that. Had a great team to work with, you know, the membership elected a great team to join our team here. So it's really, that's what it's about for me. It's the team that we put together, that Dennis put together, and the team that the membership elected to bring this thing home, you know. And now it's our job to go out and explain it to people so they understand what a great job I believe we did. And we can only look forward to the future and to continue the growth of this company, because what's good for the company is good for our membership. And I'll just look forward to a long time of working with these guys and trying to figure out how to keep doing things better and better every year. So that's right.
Yeah, for me, it's been a privilege for me to be a part of this process with my colleagues, with my team, representing FCA. I can tell you just from personal experience, because I've worked at this company for 30 years, I've never been more proud of the people. I've never been more proud of the products that we're putting on the road. We're more disciplined, we're more focused. WCM has brought a lot of integrity to the shop floor and the way we operate the shop floor. And it's been a great experience. And for me also, I didn't know Norwood Jewell 3 months ago. And I can tell you it's been a pleasure working with not only Norwood, but the rest of the folks on the UAW bargaining committee. And I thank everybody for their perseverance, their patience, and we're going to continue to do great things in the market and take this company from good to great. So thank you very much.